Today, a ban on abortions after 20 weeks officially went into effect in Texas. It was one of the few surviving parts of a law that a federal judge dealt a blow to yesterday when he struck down a provision that dealt with the doctors that perform abortions. The judge ruled that abortion doctors do not need admitting privileges at nearby hospitals, but in addition to the 20-week ban, he did uphold restrictions on medically induced abortions. Obviously, the ruling has generated some controversy. Joining me now for Q&A to discuss what it means and what happens next is the Director of Texas Right to Life, Elizabeth Graham. Welcome, Elizabeth.
Thank you. Great to be with you. I'm honored.
Well, thank you for joining us. This is very important because there was a lot of controversy over this law when it was originally passed and signed back in July. We all remember Wendy Davis and her filibuster hijinks. Explain to the viewers what exactly stays and what goes and what impact this has on the law moving forward.
The great news and the big victory for Texas and the unborn in Texas is that a ban on abortion at 5 months goes into effect today. That's the point at which medical science proves that unborn babies can feel pain. So now they are spared at 5 months of pregnancy from the excruciating pain of abortion. So that's a real victory in Texas. What the judge ruled yesterday is that the 30-mile rule is unconstitutional, and that means that abortion doctors who practice abortion would have to have admitting privileges at a nearby hospital within 30 miles of their abortion practice. And his ruling is absurd because that law is in place in other states and has been challenged in court and has been upheld in courts.
And the point of that was to increase the standards for women's health care in these abortion clinics because of the abortion mills that were going on. So the point of that was, hey, we should have real doctors that have admitting privileges to hospitals performing these abortions as opposed to, so that would be increased health care for these women, correct? Or safety issues.
You're exactly right. And to also help these abortion clinics, although we don't want to help abortion clinics,
right.
But another point to that legislation was so that women who do suffer emergencies in abortion clinics or when there are medical complications that a clinic is not equipped to handle, a doctor, an abortion doctor, can make arrangements for that patient to be transferred right away so that she can receive emergency care, so that she's not bleeding out or suffering a stroke from blood loss or all these terrible risks that can happen in a failed or a botched abortion.
Well, the judge who made this ruling, he was a Bush appointee, I believe, but it's my understanding that his rulings on things like this have been overturned in the past. So it looks like this is going to go to the Fifth Circuit and the appellate court and possibly all the way to the Supreme Court. What do you think?
Our Attorney General, Greg Abbott, is a great pro-life champion, and he has already filed the paperwork for the appeal to be heard in January, and his office is seeking a ruling from the Fifth Circuit so that the law can go into effect while they debate the constitutionality of the law. And so we do expect a fair and democratic appeals process, and we do expect ultimately to be victorious.
Well, it looks like this is going to shape up to be part of the gubernatorial race in Texas since the Attorney General, Greg Abbott, and Wendy Davis are running against each other for the governor of Texas. So I guess this is going to play out, and there's still hope that the rest of the law will be implemented. So we'll stay on top of this. Thank you so much, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
National Security Advisor Susan Rice of Benghazi fame is reportedly the architect behind the president's second-term foreign policy agenda. Pete has the details when we come back.